and welcome to Catholic Faith Forum. I'm Nonso, and today May and FriarJay will be joining me to have, yes, a comment section about the topic we had last week: can love exist without finance? With Mrs. Martina Ozegbe. You're welcome, Father. You're welcome, May.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So how did you see last week's topic, romance and finance? Can love exist without money, without finance?
I think it was a beautiful and engaging episode because we hear from somebody who has a first-hand experience of being in marriage. But then it's also good to hear what the church has to say about that and how the church advises people. Because one of the things people are taught when they do their marriage course is the role of money in their relationship, how they should help each other, and to be financially well. Not necessarily how to make money, but how to make sure that money does not become an obstacle, doesn't become a problem, but in the marriage, And then both persons are able to manage money because, like statistics has shown, 7 out of every 10 marriage end because of money issues.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's,
that's a whole lot. 7 out of 10.
Yes, 7 out of every 10 marriage that ends in a divorce ends because of money issues.
Okay. Thank you. Hold that thought.
Okay. I'm holding.
Okay. Don't go anywhere, guys. When we come back, the gist is just getting started. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're about to discuss Can Love Exist Without Money Part 2, and I'm here with FriarJay and May.
Hey,
Yes, sir. Welcome.
So, May, you were about to say something.
Yes, you know, before the break, Father mentioned 7 out of 10 marriages end because of money issues.
Mind-blowing.
And the truth is, money is actually a major issue today. Even when, apart from the romantic aspect of it, money, or the quest for money, everything about money causes a lot of problems today. So I think it's good we actually talk about this, and as Father is here to tell us what the church says about all these things. And I liked the episode last week because she talked from a personal point.
Yes.
So she got to share experiences, so you could tell that this was real to her. She wasn't just telling you something that she read out of a book. So I like that we're actually doing this.
But then starting out, Father, I would like you to add something for me. Like starting out a relationship or marriage. You know, I kept hammering last week that is it important for you to have some kind of financial stability before I think about, not before I go into, before I think about bringing somebody with me? Is it important? What does the church say about this?
All right, so from the point of view of the church, when a couple, a fresh couple who intending to marry come to the parish office to make inquiries, I work in a parish, and they come to ask questions. One of the few things I ask them is, how long have you known each other? And then the next question I ask is, what do you do for a living? Okay, what does the man do for a living? What does the woman do for a living? And what I'm trying to deduce from those questions are, one, do they know each other so well as to say, okay, I'm comfortable with what this young man is doing or what this woman is doing? Because I am presuming that they know that once they start living together, their finances would now become a mutual thing. Both of them have to watch out for each other's finance. In a case where the woman is not employed or she doesn't have a job, I'll ask, are you looking for a job? Say, for instance, a person comes up and says, I'm a fresh graduate. Okay, are you looking to start yourself up in business? Are you looking to get a job? Okay, yeah, I wish to join my husband in his business. Fine. Okay. I'm wishing to start up a business. Okay, so young man, are you the one who is going to set her up in business? Yes, I've decided I'm going to set up in business. Fine. Okay, but when both of them come and say, God go help us, that's a problem. That's a very big problem because it's obvious they don't know where they're going. They don't realize that there are going to be hurdles that will require money. Moving in, first of all, you need accommodation. You need to be able to feed. You need to be able to have clothes on your back. You need to start taking care of your family. God help you have a child in the scene. You have to start taking care of a new life. So finance is important. And many times it can become what either makes or mars the marriage.
Okay, Father, I'm not going to mention a tribe, but there's a particular tribe in this country, and they tend to marry for their children. Like they pay for the wedding, pay for everything. So because it's mostly young graduates. In that situation, would you advise them not to get married and wait till they have something coming in, or should they just go ahead? Because they do it a lot.
I think it's difficult. I don't know why it's a practice, and if that practice itself is sustainable. I don't know. How long do they intend to keep taking care of this couple that they've now brought together to live together? How long do they intend to keep them that way? How long do these people want to be dependent on their parents? But then, from the point of view of the church, there's a problem because what we always ask is, have you come here freely? Of your own will? So if they are coerced into marriage because maybe they say, I know I'm married because I don't get money. I say, don't worry, we're going to give you money. We're going to. There's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem because it's only a matter of time before the other people say, we'll give you money. We'll now start saying, I have my own responsibility. I have my own family to take care of. In fact, I've not paid my children's school fees. So it's important that this person's entering into marriage, enter into it freely, aware of all that they're going to go into. I know once I was a witness to a wedding where the couple, both of them looked very young. But for some reason, they said they were graduates and they were working. But then I know my parish priest at the time had to call them aside, call their parents aside, call their sponsors aside and say, you have to help these young people. They look very young. They're in their 20s. Wow. Both of them are below 25. Wow. So even though they may think they know what they're doing, you still need to give them some attention. You need to watch them and you need to help them. So that tells you that even where things seem to be available, resources are on ground, you still need to have some kind of guidance to know that marriage is something you're entering into. You've never been married before, so it's definitely there are going to be some balancing phases in your life.
In the aspect of working now, does the church make it mandatory that both parties have to have some kind of occupation before they can get into marriage? Because I know some people that just the husband might be working and the wife she just wants to be a fool. So I don't think she wants to be. Maybe she's just. Does that happen? Or
some people just want to be full-time.
She's not doing anything. Does the church advise that to happen in marriages, whereby the wife is doing nothing and the husband is the only one pulling all the finances?
One thing that the church has lived through is experience. 2,000 years of experience. So in the course of time, we see culture shifts. There was a time when it was a feasible thing for one person to be the sole breadwinner. Now it is not so much the case. Now it is possible, but it is difficult for one person to be. And then what happens when that sole breadwinner loses their job? God forbid, but it's a reality. People lose their jobs almost on a daily basis in our country. So what happens? Both of them now start looking at each other, and that creates a problem. So we always advise that both of them do something. You may not have a white-collar job, but maybe you are learning a trade, you are actually established in a trade, fine. It may be the case that the woman says, okay, maybe for the first 4 years of their marriage, she wants to focus on childbearing and then come back to doing her day job or whatever. That is fine, but it should always be at the back of your mind that finance will always be something that you are going to consider. It's always going to be a problem if you don't pay attention to it.
Well, now let's talk about gifting. I know, why are you smiling? You know that women, we love gifts. And then I don't understand. Some people always say, oh, when you always think about gifts and you want gifts, then you're materialistic. Is that true? Is it bad for me to always want someone to just shower me with gifts, give me things, and then yes, I will give too. But then is it a bad thing to be material? No, that's not the word.
Before Father answers, you cannot always. Before Father answers, you can't always want gifts.
Yeah, not like always, but what if I want it sometimes? I mean, sometimes it's not even about you wanting it. I think it's not about wanting it right now. It's about just giving me on not like regular basis, but at least once in a while.
Maybe I should cut in at this point.
Okay.
People have love languages. People talk about love languages. One of them is showering, attention, and then
words of affirmation.
Then there is gift.
Gifting.
Okay. I think two people going into a marriage should understand the other person's love languages, if it's one or more, and say, okay, can I sustain this? And then I hear a lot of people say, it is the way you start that you have to continue.
You have to finish.
So if you start off giving me gifts, you have to continue it. You don't just give me a teaser. I enter into the marriage and I was surprise, nothing.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
You see the man win the girl every day. He's buying something. Maybe he marries her.
Then no more gift.
I spent all the money I want to spend on you. Just come and sit down in the house.
Yeah, but then let's also be honest. The things that he used to experience when he was still a bachelor are not the things he's going to start facing when he's a married person.
Definitely.
And the finances may start to dwindle because he finds himself having to handle more responsibilities than before. What happens when the man genuinely wants to give you gifts and you know that he wants to give you gifts, but he can't because he can't afford it? He is paying bills every single day, and whether or not he wants to, he's spending money, and then you're telling him, you've not bought me gifts today. He would ask you, do you want gifts, or do you want to live under this house, or do you want to eat food? So you now have to now be sensitive to the fact that he wants to give, but he doesn't have. So I think it's good to give gifts, and some days that should be, in a way, very important that the person give gifts are days like anniversaries, birthdays, those kind of days that you say February 14, okay, Lovers Day, or family marriage day, fine. You can give gifts on those days. You can go out. You can do a little, dip a little hand into your savings and say, okay, let me just give her to let her know that I appreciate her. And it's not just one way. It's also the other way too. So don't just say, he's not giving me a gift. Have you given him a gift lately? So these are all things.
Yes, I have me.
Well, love and money. Nah. Can love exist without money? Well, money is good. Love is good. Can they exist independently? I think so. But also, I feel like money is also a determining factor, yeah. It's not as if we should worship money or let it be the ball. With the way life is going, the world is going, we need money for the basic things. I won't send my child to school. I won't send him with love. I'll send him with money. So money, I won't say like money is determinant to have love, but being in love also needs a commensurate amount of money to sustain the love.
So let's talk about, I remember she mentioned doors being opened for her when things were not the same when she got married, and then it got better. But I'm still saying, I've heard women say, oh, I married prospect and I'm still in prospect. And I've been in prospect since. So does it always open doors of blessings to people, breakthrough for them?
I don't want us to misunderstand what she said. I think what she was trying to say is that what really worked for them was not focusing on whether he's making money now or he's not making money now, but allowing God to guide their decisions, and then both of them trusting each other with their finances. To be honest with you, I don't think a lot of marriages fail because there's no money in the relationship, but it's because they're dishonest with their finances. The woman wants to have a little safety for herself. The man is thinking, if I tell her everything, she'll keep demanding. And there are some women like that can be very demanding. Because the money is there, let's blow it. That's why I always say, when you are entering into a relationship, ask yourself, am I a saver or am I a spender? You are either of two.
Not marry each other.
If both of you are savers and both of you marry each other, there's going to be a problem. You have money, but you die of hunger. If you are both spenders, you're never going to be able to plan. You'll never be able to help. I know a lot of people now tell me, oh, I am broke. I'm even begging. I've borrowed money that I cannot pay back. That's because you're a spender. And you marry somebody else who's a spender, you're going to be in trouble. So it's important that you know your money habits. It's called money habits. Yeah. And I always tell people, if you can't save, you will never have money. True. Those who have money are people who save and invest. I'm sure we have an episode on investment. So if you're not able to save and invest and live on a budget, sorry, I pity your marriage. I pity your marriage. So many times people need to be able to say, what do I need ordinarily in order to see me through a particular week or a particular day or a particular month, and stick to it. And both of you have to respect it. And both of you have to now pull resources together. The man can say, you know what, lady, you can keep your money, okay? When we run into a hitch, you can bring that to support. But on the normal day, we'll run on this budget. But the woman also has to be able to say, yes, I am also an equal stakeholder in this. If he's telling me to hold on, fine. But ordinarily, I should know that I am also an equal party. I won't just say, let's keep blowing your own money. Let's keep blowing. Let's keep going. When he finishes. And then when he finishes, you now begin to disrespect the man. I know that came up too when you asked in the last episode whether that can become a reason for disrespect. It can become. A lot of women don't know how to manage that. The man suddenly falls on hard times and the woman begins to boss the man around.
True. Wait, what is the church's opinion on joint accounts? is it advisable, or is it something that if you want, if you don't want?
I don't think I know of any specific injunction about joint accounts, but I think the thing is, what the church says is that they should be honest about their finances.
Yeah.
You should be honest. If both of you decide that you want to have a joint account, good and fine. It's your decision. If you decide that you're independent accounts, and then I know of some people who say we keep our independent accounts, and they will have an account that goes by both our names. Okay, each of us are equal signatories to it, but we retain ownership of our individual accounts. But
Yes.
I know what you're earning, you know what I'm earning, and then we put something in that mutual account where it's more for savings or more for needs that are not regular needs, maybe school fees, annual rent, and all of that, okay? So that when we need to take that, we know that we're taking it for a specific thing. Some will say it's for their future investments. We want to buy a house, we want to buy a car, so that fund goes in there. The church just says, be wise about it and be open to your spouse. Don't withhold what you think, a valuable knowledge. I just gave 100,000 to my family. I wouldn't want my husband to know that.
You not hide it.
He not hide it. When the man knows, it will now become distrust, not on material, on the monetary aspect alone, but to be, what else is she not telling me?
Yeah.
So you see that when I say that 7 out of 10 marriages break up because of money issues, it's not just about the money. It's about, because trust is not just one thing. It's all encompassing. It's pervasive. So if a person is not able to say, this is it, black is black, white is white with regard to money, what else is the person now telling me?
I want to paint a scenario. I saw a story on social media. I think the man fell back on his finances, and then the woman or the wife had a store where she sells food. And so the husband came to the store one day, and immediately he came, he saw the customer. She couldn't afford to pay the helps that usually helped her during her service. So the man came in, and then I don't know what the man came in to do. I can't remember the story, but he just came in. And then the next thing she said was, please, would you help me wash some place while I serve the customers? And the man slapped her.
Oh, wow.
Yes, wow. He slapped her and walked out. And then you know how social media, everybody will be talking, oh, the man, feminists came out to their bows and arrows. Oh, the man should not slap, she shouldn't have slapped her, blah, 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 blah. So I want let's use that scenario. What would you do? What should have been the ideal thing to be done? Maybe on the woman's part and on the man's part, what should have been done?
I think that's an isolated story. There may be a lot of context that built up to a slap. It might be customers are not coming, that's why I cannot afford to pay a house help, and all of that. So, and maybe so many other things. Like I said, when the man says, it's not just the money, what else are you not telling me? That's not like an all-pervasive thing. So it might just be, the slap might just be the end result of so many lies, so many deceptions, so much anger that has been pent up. So I wouldn't want us to tie to just that one moment of come and help me and wash in the kitchen. I don't think the man would have felt disrespected by that action. But the fact that I came and then there are people in your shop and you have been telling me that you don't have customers, that's why you cannot pay this, that's why you cannot pay that, and here are people, and you're even telling me. So you actually have a need for somebody to do that, and you actually have customers that you can pay, that can make you afford to pay somebody to do that. So why are you telling me all that? So, but I'm not justifying the slap. I'm just saying that there's a lot that has gone behind the scene to have led to that.
Yeah, I would think it depends. What kind of husband is he at home normally? Does he actually help out with house chores in the house? So if he does, then asking him that in public, in front of customers, would probably not have been so bad. But if it's someone that actually doesn't do anything, it's just that manly man that just sits around, and then in front of customers, you are telling him, he will take it as an insult.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on what kind of relationship they have behind the scenes that would have built up to that situation.
For me, social media, you never get the whole story.
You never do.
So then it's always one-sided. But according to that story, I feel a slap is not it shouldn't have been the result. It's not the answer. It doesn't solve anything. Yeah. And then she couldn't afford to pay helpers to help while she serves. That's why she relieved them of their job. She had before, and then she had to relieve them. So needing somebody was a necessity right there. And then he just came and went, okay, can you help me serve? And then, why? And then that was.
But they should have had that conversation in
I'm
the
not
house.
sure. I'm not sure that was the place for that conversation.
And then, like Miss Martina said, communication is key.
It's very important.
So, is it right for one of the spouse to take to withdraw money without the knowledge of the other? Because I know some women will just rather take out the money, buy what they want to buy, do what they want to do, and then tell their husbands. And then some husbands also do it, where they take out the money without the knowledge of their wives. Do you think that action is right?
You know, that's why I said initially that the church doesn't legislate about whether you should have joint account, but that you should know what each person is earning and what each person uses the money to do. So even when they have a joint account, they both of them have to talk about it and say, this is what this is for. And if we need to withdraw from it, you have to know, I have to be aware of it. Where people take advantage of the other person and say, oh, I will just withdraw the money, maybe I'll just tell him, I use the money for this, he will accept. When he slaps you.
Does it not? But I think that depends on how the communication, the relationship between the husband and wife. There are some husband and wives that if I just say, let me just spend the money, and then later I can always send, I need to buy that stuff.
But like I said, money is very sensitive. The man may just be saying, at least if all fails, that money is there. And suddenly you take out that money. You take that money out and without telling him, so that you can, and then the woman also is like that if all fails, we have that money, at least we can use that like a fallback. And then he goes and decides to buy this expensive car with the money. The woman will feel betrayed because it's not just the man's money, it's both of them, okay? And there's not, one of the things that when you know that marriage has started to become shaky is when the woman say, my money that I put inside.
So that I worked for.
It was initially our money, but when the problem comes, it becomes my money because I know how much I had sacrificed how much I've deprived myself in order to keep the money there. So it can be very, very delicate. So trust, communication, a lot. Even when you fail to communicate, and maybe in one instance or the other, you did something like that, don't make it a habit. Don't do it the second time. You do it the second time, the man will not believe that you are, or the woman will not believe that it was something that came up as a matter of urgency. Okay,
Me, do you have anything to add?
Basically, I agree with Father because I don't see why you take money from your joint account without letting your spouse. The reason why you have a joint account in the first place is so you can have money together and plan for it together. I have friends that have joint accounts, like married, and then you see that they talk about the money. Even you know that these people, they are serious. So even things that are so little, as far as the money is coming out of that account, they gist it out and just say, okay, and this is what we do, this is what we do. And it works fine for them. So they balance it out. So it's just better to keep that communication open so that everybody knows where the money is going. Because money matter, know the end.
Know the end, though. Seriously. Seriously.
Yeah, that's so true.
And so I like the fact I like the point where some people are able to take the fall for the other person. Say, for instance, the woman is given 5,000 naira by her husband to do shopping of groceries for the house. And then she takes a little more from what she has and adds to it.
Yes.
I think those kind of situations also makes the marriage work because it's not always the case that you are going to have a clean-cut financial statement where you say, okay, I make a list of 10,000 naira and the man gives me 10,000 naira. Maybe he's not able to afford 10,000 naira. Maybe the 10,000 naira should just be, let him just give me that part and I'll complement it with whatever. Those are the things that also make financial issues a little better. But if the person is expecting that, now since he gave me 5,000 naira, that's all I'm going to spend on anything, it will not work.
Okay.
It will not work.
So what's your advice for young people who are thinking about marriage but are not financially buoyant enough?
Okay, I get these questions a lot because some people say, Father, pray for me. I've gotten to the age of marriage, but I don't know what to. Two things I always tell people. Number one is make sure that you are looking for something to do.
Yes.
One of the biggest hazards of our generation is that many people want to make money, but they don't want to work.
True.
And then when they lose a job, it's like the end of the world. They just suddenly just collapse. They lose every sense of energy to get back into the workforce and make something for themselves. So men especially, I'm begging, please don't just lay back and say, well, it's over. I cannot make any money or whatever. Try to get back into doing something in order to earn, because one of the keys of being a father, being a man of the house, is being able to provide. It makes you more self-assured, it gives you more confidence, and you become more of yourself because you see that other people are benefiting because of what you're doing. The second thing is don't build your life around money.
Okay.
But even as you don't try not to build a life around money, try as much as possible to know the other person's money habits. If the person is a spender, then you know that you have to be a saver. If the other person is a saver, then you know that you have to be able to balance that out with your own personality. And try as much as possible to know that about the person before you decide to get into marriage.
Yeah.
Because if you don't pay attention to that and you get into marriage, whatever you see, you have to take it.
What do you want to say?
Basically, as Father said, marriage is a partnership. So both of you need to work together. You need to balance each other out, help each other with each other's shortcomings. Just money is not everything, but money is very important. That's the truth. So know that money plays a very, very huge role in everything you're going to do. So just be mindful of each other's excesses. Just communicate with one another, and you guys will work it out.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so now you know communication is key in every relationship, every marriage. When you're thinking about it, you know communication is key, and then money is also important. Don't leave that out while you're seeking to get married. We're not going anywhere until we know little and more about our faith. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to another beautiful time on your favorite Know Your Faith series. My name is Judith. Today we shall be talking about giving drink to the thirsty. And this means providing drinking water for others to drink. And some ways we can do this is to be aware that about 2.1 billion people in the world today do not have safe drinking water. Some have to draw water from the streams and the rivers. It is your Christian duty to support the effort of those working towards greater accessibility of this basic essential necessity. Support clean water policies to ensure that the future generations have water to drink. So, as someone once said, we do not inherit the land from our parents, rather we borrowed it from our children. Avoid waste. One basic way to do this is to turn off the tap while we are brushing our teeth or doing the dishes in the house. Also, we can manage water while taking a bath. Offer a drink. You could see a worker down the street, like the construction workers. Get them a bottle of water, at least just to calm them, or a bottle of soft drink. As a child, I used to take water bottle to school, and when friends ask me, I pour out some of it in a cup and offer them to drink. I didn't always do this willingly, but at some point, I grew out of my selfishness. You too could also do the same. So there you have it. It is your Christian duty to quench the thirst of others by preserving water for the future generations, avoid waste, and offer drink to others. Until next time, be bold, be Catholic.
Welcome back. This is the Catholic Faith Forum. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you, FriarJay. Thank you, May, for making this episode mind-blowing. Thank you so much. You can watch this episode and other episodes on our YouTube channel at Dominican Media Presents. You can also don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Send your comments and suggestions across our social media platforms at CFF on TV. Until I come your way next time, say with me, keep being saints in jeans and shirts. Bye.